Hey everybody, Tim Herriage. Just wanted to kind of come to you on my lunch break today and talk a little bit about what I see most successful investors and trends in the industry happening. Ultimately, I find it interesting that this real estate investing business is really it's it's a small business with all the major components of a multinational corporation. So when I really look at the sales and the marketing and the operations, fulfillment, underwriting, financial controls, servicing, disposition, asset management, it's remarkable what we all take on. It's remarkable how impressive some of these operators are that don't have the training to run a cross-functional, multidiscipline business, but they get in there and they figure it out. So I think if you're struggling with maybe some of the things that are going on in your business, I think if you're struggling with maybe parts of the business that just aren't working the way you want them to, just here's a little advice. So number one, sales and marketing gets all the attention because that's what puts up the big numbers. That's what drives the activity. That's what finds you the assets. But when you really look at it, if you don't have the ability to fund and manage and control the investment, that's where people lose the money. And frankly, I think that's why wholesaling is a much more popular, a much easier topic to teach or to focus on, because you get rid of the asset management portion, you get rid of the construction or quality control portion, you get rid of even the financial management portion. So I think, look, I'm not calling it lazy. I still wholesale, but I wholesale the houses I don't want. So I think when you look at it, you really got to find ways to diversify and improve your skill set. And break it up into these core areas, right? You have sales and marketing. That's generating leads. That's buying houses from motivated sellers. That's, if you're in the wholesale business, finding buyers and selling to those buyers. So that's just function number one. When you look at number two, is really underwriting, asset management, and financial controls. That's the rehab timeline. A lot of investors lose money by not properly managing their projects. A lot of investors lose money by not budgeting and fulfilling their renovation plan the way it kind of was penciled in the sales and marketing phase. I hear people all the time say, well, we buy one way and we rehab another. And you just can't do that. You've got to be honest to yourself and make sure the numbers you use going in are the numbers that you plan to execute on. And then there's a management aspect. There's no real passive property management or investing. When you look at even my rental properties this week, my wife and I are making a decision on one of our houses. Like, is it going to be a midterm rental next? It's always been a long-term rental. Are we going to sell the house? Are we going to sell the house on owner financing? Are we going to sell the house on partial owner financing? So there's all these decisions that ultimately now I have to look at my income tax bracket. I have to look at my tax consequences for 2023. I have to look at the cash flow of the property now that we've suffered 5 years of increased property taxes and 5 years of increased insurance, and the rent has not grown at the percentage rate that those expenses have. So really looking at that, and even if it had grown at the same rate, it's not commensurate because you started off with higher values anyway. So it's a management game. It's a long game. It's an attention to detail game. So really, you've got to have a sales and marketing focus. You've got to have an operations focus, and you've got to have an asset management focus with a back end of financial managements and controls. So how do I do that? I ask a lot of questions and I get in a lot of rooms. And so one of the rooms I'm in is Masterminds. So I actively attend Mike Hambright's Investor Fuel, Kent Clothier's boardroom, now Donovan Ruffin's No Limit Mastermind, as well as about to get involved in Bill Allen's, and I'm already in the Family Mastermind. But when you really think about that, I'm lucky, right? I make money multiple ways in real estate. So I get to go as maybe a sponsor for RCN Capital, but I'm also an investor that's learning, engaging. And so get in a room, whatever room's right for you. You probably don't want to or shouldn't pay for 6 or 7 like I do. But get in a room, listen to people, find people that maybe execute the sales and marketing better than you, and then go get their help or their advice. Find people that execute that operations, that rehab and project management function better than you, and get their help or advice. And then find people that execute that asset management, financial controls function better than you, and get their advice. And then find what you do well, and this is the key, and then offer them support in your own advice or help, and build a community of people that you can rely on, that you complement each other. And that ultimately, I think, is my superpower and what's made me successful in this business, because I don't think there's such a thing as a stupid question. I think the only stupid questions are the ones that aren't asked. So anyway, I was just inspired during lunch to share this with you. If you like this, do me a favor, like it below, click subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you around.